Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is the last month of the year, and it's December 6th. I have to keep looking at the calendar back and forth. It's just like the days just go by so fast, you know. And we appreciate you all being here today. And it's going to be a great presentation today from our pal instructor, Larry Norvell. And so take it away, Larry, please.
Thank you very much, Tom. And today I'm going to be presenting Google Translate. And I'm so happy Rebecca Spears is here because she can definitely help out with this. So let me share my screen if I can get things coordinated here real quick. And I guess that's not the one I wanted. Hold on just a sec here. Okay, can you see that screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, Rebecca knows about this, and maybe she can put a little input in here. There is what's called Google Translate, and it's going to be your friend when you get a Spanish speaker, or when we expand out into the world. It's going to help us with all kinds of different languages. So to find Google Translate, you just type into your search bar Google Translate, and it comes up with this screen, and you just click on Google Translate. And this is the screen you get with Google Translation. So there's different things that you can translate. Of course, you can translate text from English to just about any language that you want. You have a drop down over here that gives you all kinds of different languages that you can translate to. Being we're mostly with Spanish translation, I'm going to show you some things that we can translate to. So I'm just going to type in here. And you'll notice that over here is translated it into Spanish. Now I know there's quite a few different dialects of Spanish. So maybe Rebecca can tell us about that type of dialect that it's actually in. We know it's in Spanish, but being there's dialect for Mexico, for Cuba, for Guatemala, and different places. So if Rebecca could kind of input here what this dialect actually means.
The Spanish really is almost kind of the same. Of course, there's colloquialism in different areas. They might call one thing different, and when you go to another country, they say it different. So, but mostly they would understand what you're trying to say, and so that's that's a good thing. And they will understand that. I think the only thing that I have a challenge is the Portuguese. They would understand Spanish, but it sounds, it's hard to for me, it's hard to understand them. I will get the gist when they're talking, but it's harder. Okay, that one.
This one's actually in this one is in
yes.
Portuguese, right?
Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to tell the person to translate this This one is traducir. You can put you on before that. You translate this to Spanish. So you're telling the person to translate it. It will become different if you put translates. Yep. So if you put that Portuguese and put that in Spanish, it will be.
See how it translates totally different.
Yeah. If you put the because you're telling the person directly what that one to translate.
Now, of course, if we wanted to translate it to something else, we would just pick say, for example, we're going to be going to, say, Italy. We would just pick Italian, Italian right there. So that translates it into Italian.
And just like Spanish, there's different dialects in Italian too. Believe it or not, I'm 100% Italian from Calabria. My grandparents are from Calabria, Italy, right? So when I went to school, I thought I'd take Italian, right? Hey, my cousin was actually the teacher too, so I figured that was a snap. Wrong. Italian dialect is different than what they teach in school. Like if they teach Spanish in school or they teach Italian in school, that type of language is totally different than all the dialects that we have. I know Spanish, there's at least 4 different dialects. Like you mentioned, you got Spain, then you even have Venezuela and all the others that you were talking about too. And there's always a difference between them. So something like this would be great to give you a generality, and the people, it'll help you out anyway. The people, like Rebecca was saying, should know what's being said. But it's just not Spanish only. The Italian is the same way. There's different types of Italian dialects.
Right.
Depending on what part of the country you're from,
Right. So this is also, I'm sorry, go ahead, Rebecca.
I think the hardest thing is if from different countries, they pronounce it differently. And I spoke to someone from Argentina, and como se llama, or something like that. The L become like an SH, and there's so many things. So I have to kind of, dissect what they're talking about, because the L becomes an SH or something like that. So that's one thing to consider when you're talking to someone from another country speaking Spanish, but they pronounce it differently.
Right. Plus there's, depending on the lettering will depend on how you translate it, how it's translated. So if I do something like, everybody knows how to say tortilla, but a lot of people say tortilla, which is not correct. You have to put that, I guess you would say, a twang into it, or whatever they call it. So, just depending on how it's spelled will determine on how you say it, just like English. So let's go on to the next one. Next one is images. So if you have an image that you want to convey to, say, like your Spanish speakers, what you want to do is, if you have a picture that has writing in it, and I'm going to bring up my my translation words as a perfect subject. So what it's doing is it's taking it from, I hope you guys can see this.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yeah, so here is my transition words in English, of course. But what you can do is you can put this into Google Translate, and it will translate all this for you. So here it is in Spanish. So it doesn't only just translate text, it translates pictures also. And what you can do is, of course, you can just copy this into your file that has all your pictures in. So that's a good thing to have when you're teaching your students on how to write with the transition words. Next thing is documents. So what you want to do is you want to browse your files for your documents. Let me open this, and I'm going to find, say, like, for example, my business cards. Give me just a second. Can't even find my own business card here. Here it is. So it's in PDF format. And this is what my business card looks like.
I can't see it right now.
Oh, you
Oh,
can't see that one?
Oh yeah, I was
Not
using
yet.
the Google Translate screen.
Okay.
I have a question while you're bringing that up, Larry, on the images, right? So let's say we have one of our memes, we put it up there. Now, our meme says the writing in English. Does that mean somehow that'll change the picture, text on the picture, on the meme?
Yeah, exactly. So anything that has writing on it,
Yeah, can you bring up a meme maybe if, or,
well, yeah, I don't
some-
have memes.
oh,
It's,
okay,
give me just a
Whatever.
second here.
anything like you said that has writing on it. EMF.
Yep, there it is.
Cool. Nice.
So it takes your memes and it translates everything into Spanish
Wow.
for you.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Didn't know that.
That's pretty powerful.
Awesome.
That
Huh?
that really is powerful.
Did you
Yeah,
know that,
so
Joe?
you-
Yeah, no, I mean, especially when you're advertising in other countries, having that
Yes.
is very, very, very powerful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And that really puts you a step above everybody else here, having
Mhm.
that.
That's awesome. Thank you, Larry.
Sure. Now let me see if I can find what I was looking for here. I'm in my memes menu. I knew this was happening as soon as we got on a call here, that I wouldn't be able to find what I was looking for.
Always, eh? Always.
Yep. Okay. So you see on here, my business card, right? So if we translate my business card,
We just have the icon there.
okay, do you
Go.
see my business card screen?
Yeah, and the wine ambassador.
Right. So if you notice, it's all in Spanish. So I wrote my business card in English, of course, because I don't know Spanish. So it will translate a PDF. Okay, so anytime you're have something in PDF, you can always translate it into Spanish. Now I live in a state that is high in Spanish speakers, as well, I'm sure, as South Texas or Arizona or California. So you can carry these around and give them to whoever. I mean, if they speak Spanish, give them your Spanish card. Okay. Okay. Next thing is going to be, here's the fun part, your website. You can translate your website into whatever language you want. So I'm just going to put in mine. Sorry about that. Okay, here's my website, of course, in English. Okay, and we're going to translate it into Spanish. So there it is in Spanish. Can you see my
Wow.
website there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
one thing it doesn't do is it doesn't translate your ads, which I'm sure Google doesn't want to do that anyway.
yeah, for
So
sure.
it translates your
Response magic.
response magic.
Awesome.
Okay, so there's everything there. One thing I did notice is when you on the left-hand side, your menu is in Spanish. If I want to go to contact us, here my ad. Okay, so you see it translated it
Yeah.
into Spanish. Now, of course, it's not only Spanish. If you notice up here, there's a little down arrow next to Spanish, and you
Oh,
can
wow.
select. You can select your select
Larry,
the
this is
country.
language.
awesome.
Yeah, it's
It
pretty
truly
cool.
is.
I mean,
So awesome.
so when we get into advertising in Mexico, we get people from Mexico or Italy or Germany or whatever country we're advertising to, we can change it to that country. So here it is in German. Okay. Now, of course, when
So-
you want to go back to
Go ahead.
English, just click
Mhm.
on English up here.
So thinking in the future, for those that actually that already have a Google AdSense, so because really when you're trying to get Google AdSense, you want to make sure all of your pages are in one language. But once you have Google AdSense, if you're, what I can think of where we can use this, like if you're now advertising in another country and you want to be in their language, you can then do another page in that, like the page you want to advertise, do that in that other language,
Right.
right?
Exactly. So one thing that I'm not sure if Rebecca has run into this, but are her Spanish speakers writing their website in Spanish?
Yes,
Okay.
they would be
Um,
writing theirs in Spanish.
Okay. So have you found out whether, I'm not sure if this is going to work here, but let me go to,
When they get their PBS, it's already in Spanish. Then they will modify it in Spanish.
okay.
They
So
already have it in
there,
Spanish.
so there is, the WordPress is in Spanish for them.
Yeah, and it's more friendly now. Yeah, you can get
Nice.
all green. You can get all green now in Spanish.
Wow.
Cool. That's good. So of course we can go to their website, and Rebecca, do you have an example of one that's in Spanish?
I haven't really been working on that one, but hold on. 1 second. Keep going if I find it.
Okay. So yeah, guys, it's really simple. All you have to do is have the Google Translate page open. And so you can even translate it from Spanish to English, of course. So if you notice, when I click Spanish over here, it changed to English over here. I think probably the neatest one was the images,
Yeah, 100%.
because
That's awesome.
when I opened hopefully you'll be able to see this. So that's what the original one looked like.
No, we can't see it.
Up. Okay. But you get the picture. What
Literally,
it looks
right?
like is, I mean, it's just, let me see if I can actually redo this in English. Okay, so that's what it looks like in English.
Oh.
Okay. And then it just depends on which language you select. It's going to put it in that particular language. So there's an Italian.
And look at that. When it does that, it actually makes the words smaller to fit in the space.
Right. Exactly.
Huh. Wow.
So you have big text here, and then smaller text there. So like Joel says, it fits in the space it's supposed to be in.
Wow.
It's
Unreal.
awesome.
It really is. And it's smart enough to know the URL. It does not translate the URL because the URL is a URL.
Right.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the URL is, always going to put it in English.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow.
That's where the URL was made.
Okay, so you have your website, you're editing it, you bring your website up. The first thing you have to do is what? You have to go online and get Google Translate.
Right. Basically, what you have to do is, let me just start it from the beginning here. So in your browser, you just want to type Google Translate.
Mhm.
Okay. And then it comes up and you click on this one here that says Google Translate. You get this screen.
Right.
And you can pick from whatever you want.
So you
Now, of
go
course,
to
there's not going to be an image there, but
so then you can go to website, and that's
yeah,
when
you can.
What
Yeah,
about? Go ahead.
Say for example, you just want to go to Google. Okay, so here's Google, and then just type in Google Translate, and then here it is here.
Mhm.
Click on Google
Google
Translate.
Translate have come a long ways. Their translation's much better.
Yeah, I've noticed that. You know, I know a bit of German, so the translation is almost perfect.
Mhm.
So once
Okay,
again,
there
we're
is
going to go ahead.
okay, 4f50.com, that's one of the Spanish students' website. 4f50.com. It's already in Spanish.
Okay, there you go. So it's in Spanish, and all you have to do is just click on English. I'm sorry, we're going to translate it from Spanish.
From Spanish.
So change that to Spanish, and then we're going to go back to English on this. And there you go.
Mhm.
What about in the edit mode? Is there anything we can do with that? Because we would want to take the code editor and back it up, the Spanish version. Is that able?
Yeah,
Are we able to do that?
Yep. Yes, it works the same way as the English. It would go to code editor. You can do that.
Okay, so you actually have to be in code editor when you do it. Okay. I'm going to go back to Google
Okay,
Translate.
so you start off in code
website.
editor. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, because you need to be logged in for it to translate it. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
Look at
it's
that.
in Spanish, so
So that would, if I imagine once you log in, it would not be Spanish once you log in.
right.
Right, I mean, wow.
So there's English, there's Spanish.
Bene.
That is powerful.
It is very powerful. Well, does anybody have any questions about this?
Any more questions?
Yeah, really.
So Rebecca, I know I asked you the other day, and Donna gave me information about whenever you get somebody to respond back to you in your text messages, and they say, put it in Spanish, you can go to your Spanish translations. I mean, basically what I did was I wrote this.
Mhm.
If you can everybody see that screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I wrote something that says, basically, we're marketers. We're looking for new students. Unfortunately, I do not speak Spanish. However, we do have Spanish instructors. I'm going to notify one of our Spanish speaking instructors. Her name is Rebecca Spears. She speaks Spanish and she's an excellent instructor. She will get you going on this amazing journey, so on and so forth. Well, would you send this to a Spanish speaker? No, because it's in English. So did you know that there's a translator in Google Docs? So if you want to translate something to Spanish, you click on help and then search the menus. And then where it says menus, where your cursor blinking over here, hit type in translate. Okay, translate document. And then it's going to ask you, what language do you want? We're going to speak Spanish.
Well,
Click Spanish and then translate. Now watch what happens. It's all in Spanish.
Nice.
Mhm.
I
So
was
you
working
just
on all
copy
this
that.
yesterday and had to go the hard way around. How do you translate this into the American Spanish when I can only just
Right.
do it right where it's at?
Yeah, just do it right there in Google Docs. Okay. One
It
thing
has
I
come
did,
a long ways. Mhm.
it really has. Now, I don't know if this is a misspelled word or this one right here.
But that's it, right there, una excelente. Right there. There's
Two words.
So
should
just,
just be a space
yeah, just click,
between
click
two
on it
words.
and it puts una up here.
Mhm.
Now,
Excellent instructor.
I'm sure that it's the same for,
Wow.
let's see here. I'm just going to open up my ad templates and open up my mega classified database here. Come on, open. Well, I'm not sure it's not going to change any of these because these
Right.
are all URLs. So I need to find something
Mhm.
that, let's see here. My dial pad schedule. Okay, help. Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't translate a spreadsheet, but I haven't tried this here. Insert function. And I'm sure it's asking me for, say, something like this here.
Rows,
And
columns.
then enter. Nope, it didn't translate. So apparently it doesn't work on Google Sheets.
So again, backing up on the docs, then you start off by going to help,
Help.
right? Then what?
And then right here where it says search the menus,
Search the
the
menus.
very first one, you just click on that. And then you get another little pop-up over here where your cursor is blinking where it says menus. You just type translate. And then it comes up with translate document. Comes up with another pop-up screen. And then you, in the down arrow, in the little choose a language, click the down arrow, select the language you want.
Mhm.
And then click translate. And it translates it into that language.
Excelente.
Pretty cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Noteworthy.
Very
Thanks
good.
for bringing this to us, Larry. This is
Oh,
awesome.
sure.
Now you got
Yeah, it's-
competition, Rebecca.
Oh, go
Just
Okay.
get it.
Let me
Rebecca
say
gets the
something about that.
machines.
Let me say something about that because I'm not good enough at Spanish to be able to converse with somebody, especially something like this,
Right.
like our PBS and all that. But I believe Rebecca has got it all down. So if you ask her nicely to take over the student, I'm sure she would be more than happy to take over a student for you.
And
Rebecca,
yeah.
I'm sorry,
No,
go
so-
ahead, Joel.
Yeah, so it's not just saying, that's what we do in the business. Is we pay it forward, right? So we get a Spanish speaking person. We feel we're not gonna be able to talk to them fluently, then absolutely give it over to Rebecca, and then we know in turn it'll come back to us. From maybe not just from Rebecca, but from another person, right? So that's why we pay it forward for everything.
Right, exactly. So Cindy asked, what's the difference between Catalan and Spanish? Does anybody know?
I think it's a different dialect. It's just like, in the Philippines, we have 170 dialects. And my mom speaks another dialect, my dad speaks another dialect, and in the city, we have the national dialect. So, Valencian.
That might be listed.
Yep, it has to be. Yeah.
So it says Catalan is the language primarily spoken in some parts of Spain, France, and Andorra.
Yeah, it's a dialect.
Yeah. So yeah, it says
Another.
it's
Apart from Spanish.
See if it's listed on that list of languages.
let's see here. There's Catalan right
Yeah,
there.
it is. Mm-hmm.
So we would want to change this from,
So it even has different dialects.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Catalan. We'd have to do it from Spanish to English, or Spanish to Catalan. Come on. So there's Catalan there.
Hmm.
So any other questions? You want to open it up for just general Q&A?
Sure. And then remember, I mean, after we also have the study hall, which is the same thing, right? You open Q&A.
Yeah. So just remember, just all it is Google Translate.
Thank you,
And it-
Larry.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, that's great.
I think that this is a great tool that we can look forward to in the future. Because, you know, Rory says we're going to be expanding to all these other countries, then this will be great to be able to, you know, once we start doing V marketing to the other countries, then this will be a great thing to have.
Now, is there a way to add to your website a link that they could just push? Is there a URL to have it translated to Spanish that they could just click on the link and it would automatically translate it to Spanish for them?
Yeah, actually, I had that on my site before, and I was looking at this yesterday because I was doing Spanish, a Spanish ad,
Yeah.
and I noticed it wasn't there anymore. So I was going to do, you know, put it back in, do research. I forgot how I got it in the first place because it was there when I started 5 years ago, and I had it right above the search bar. But
That's a great idea.
Yeah, for sure.
it's a widget you'd have to get, so I'd have to check that out again. I was thinking of that exactly.
Yeah, if you find it, bring it to us, okay?
Mhm.
Awesome.
So everyone, as you see,
I believe it'll,
never miss a Wednesday call. You never know what you're going to get. Every Wednesday call is different, so you never know. And especially this because we may bring something new to you that you never knew you existed, and find how it's going to help you on your website. So never miss a Wednesday afternoon call. Go ahead, Rebecca.
it's
Yeah, this
okay.
is-
It's fine.
This is
I forgot.
incredible.
Oh, sorry about
Forgot
that.
what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
I need the brain.
Hey, Tom, was that something that is a widget on your web page?
Yeah, I had it. It was a widget, and I mean, you can, you know, look up that. It's easy enough wherever. Just look up, you know, translation widget. It's a little box. It's about half the size of that search bar, and it says translate inside it. You click on it, and then all the languages come up.
I believe all of them that speaks other language than English, like my Portuguese student before, I mean, she just clicked off and on from English to Portuguese and back and forth. And that's what she was doing. So, you know, anywhere she goes on any websites, she does that. So I believe, you know, all of them non-speaking, you know, English
Not
non-speaking.
English speaking.
They
Yeah.
English.
Yeah, like
non-
yeah, like I mean, I'm sure those who don't speak a lot of English, they know exactly how to get, you know, how to do that on a
How to
page
translate,
because
yeah.
because
Yes,
because they
yes,
because they
they do.
because they do it because they do it so much.
Mhm.
But like Roy says, you know, you want to have it as easy as possible so that a person doesn't have to leave your page to translate because they may get distracted, right? So if we can have that translate right on our page, they don't need to leave to look for it.
Yep, I think you get a point there.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking about that yesterday again, because like you said, Joel, when the expand into different countries, you know, it's just as easy to have that instead of making new pages, just have that translation button on there and you automatically have it.
Is that a plugin?
No,
It'd be a web.
no,
It'd be
just it would
one that
be
you
a
have to.
widget.
Okay.
Since I'm recording, I can't get
Maybe-
out of here to find it, so.
Yeah. Is it in the admin or your dashboard? So I know how to go to widgets. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's
But
just in the same place where you have your search bar right up on top, and then just open up another block. Yeah, so you open up a block. No, down below, and then you can always raise the block above the search bar.
okay, so
So you just want to get out of there, and then
yeah.
have the plus sign to choose another block. And then
Okay. So translate in here.
no, what I'm saying is once you get the translation code for the to change it, then you can, that's where you put it.
So you would
It's
do
just
a
like
search
it's
for
just
Code.
like
in-
anything any other widget that you put
Right.
in the block.
you do a search
Widget
for it in
code.
Google. You do a search for it in Google.
Huh?
Once you find it, then you download, and then that's what you do, right?
Yeah. So you find it
Okay,
online,
so-
it'll show you the code. Then you just copy the code and put it in the right.
So we're allowed to add a widget
Oh, so it's like
like
adding.
that.
You can
Magic.
Okay, so here I am in Google Translate. And what would you do? Would you just like
well, do a search for translation widget.
Okay.
in Google?
Yeah.
Google Translate widget code.
Oh, that's on Android.
For website. Yeah. There you go. Next one down.
For WordPress.
Okay. That'll do.
That's a plugin. Uh,
You translate your WordPress website. Go multi-language. Easiest way to translate. They don't show you what it would look like. Okay. There's the video. Again,
be nice to
yeah, but
see-
that
They automatically add it to the website or PBS.
again, it could just be a general widget translation widget.
yeah.
Doesn't have to be specific, I wouldn't think. You say that's like what mine looked like there, the first one, but it
This
didn't
one
say
here?
translate on, well, yeah, the translate was right in where it says select the language, and they had the down button. There you go. Your
appearance
dashboard.
widgets. Okay, but where's the code?
Just section, click on the widget. Translate widget.
See, everything I'm finding is a WordPress plugin, which we can add plugins.
Yeah. But this is talking about, like Tom said, is an actual widget,
A widget,
not
yeah.
a plugin.
Right. Because we can't use plugins anyway. Can't
Right.
add plugins. You dash. See guide on working with widgets. But I'm gonna stop the recording here.
Okay.
Okay. Appreciate your information, Larry.
Yeah, no problem. It was fun to research all this.
Yeah. Thank you, folks.